Hello everyone, this is your friendly Blue Wolf Sparlycos, and before this Nerd Talk starts, I just want to state this was recorded on March 8th, or a little bit before then. Joe did the editing, but I had kind of forgot to even upload this after he did the editing, so that was on my part. I am sorry, but here you go.
Just like straight up technical difficulties, a circle stuck in the server.
Anyway, so hello everyone, this is your friendly Blue Wolf Spartalycos, and with me today is...
I am Joe the Hellhound, and I have social anxiety.
Well, that went down fast.
It's not down fast. Self-deprecation's always good for comedy. And also, they don't get their hopes too high. Well, at least about me, anyway.
Anyway, today we are talking about Fallout 76, and yes, we are a little late on the bandwagon, but I really wanted to talk about this game because I actually like the Fallout universe. So, first thing, let's just go over the list of the fuck-ups. Let's see. First off, the canvas bag, which, meh.
That was gonna happen.
The fuck-up that happened after the canvas bag, where everyone who went to actually say, hey, could you send me a new one? Oh, their information got leaked. Oops.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah, some sort of weird bug, and Bethesda'd it. And then there was the Nuka-Dark Rum, which...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with that one. Most fancy bottles come in, like, a casing. And if you literally thought that was the last bottle for the rum, I feel kind of bad for you. Not to be a
But
dick,
you can't deny, that'd be a nice bottle to have on your shelf.
Personally, it's like, I don't like having that kind of bottle on my shelf unless it's literally made out of glass.
Right, I mean a glass version. I'm not talking about a
yeah.
plastic shell.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things. It would have been a very nice thing to have on my shelf. But at the same time, I'm sitting here, it's like, from the pictures, it looked plastic, and I'm like, they would not put the rum in a bottle that looks like that.
Right. But sad thing is, from what I've heard, people who've tasted the rum, it tastes like crap.
Well, yeah, what do you expect? It's from a game. It's a piece of merch that's probably supposed to be more for display than for actual consumption. It's like when the Jones Soda was doing the Nuka Quantums for Fallout 4. Like,
hold on, that was actually a thing?
Oh yeah, it was a thing, and they were just nothing but straight diabetes. They were not good. Like, I actually bought one. I might have the bottle in storage somewhere, but it was
well,
like,
if you ever find it and take a
diabetes.
picture, feel free to send. But I have a feeling this is going to go up on Friday. But anyway, after that little fuck-up, someone apparently leaked that for quite a while, some players found a way into the dev room. What the fuck? And then after that, people started selling on eBay and other shops like that the loot that they found. And they managed to get around the freaking warning signs for Bethesda by using dummy accounts to get the stuff out.
I'm not surprised, because then they get the stuff out, drop it, like, give it to their actual account. That's like basic swap. That's basic swap, but I give them props for actually getting into the development room.
It was actually some really weird circumstances you had to pull off, but you could do it.
Wasn't the guy? Yeah. Didn't the guy accidentally do it? Like the first one who found it?
More than likely, possibly, but considering how buggy the game was, I imagine it probably just being like, okay, how can I break this game and get into the dev room, because it's Bethesda and they always had a dev room.
Or they didn't even know it was there and they accidentally fell into it.
Right, like
out of everything.
Either scenario is funny.
Yeah, either way it's funny, because in an MMO game, you don't really think of there being a dev room compared to like a base Fallout game. I'm just kind of surprised they had that there. And like the final version, it's like they managed to get to the dev room. That dev room should not even fucking be there.
Right. Or at least it should be hard as hell to even get in there.
I don't know, maybe give them, like, send them a package of Nuka Rum for the guy who found it first.
I would not wish that on my worst enemy.
It depends. Some people get in the stomach car acid.
Okay, then maybe I might send it to Kit. Anyway, and the last thing I have on my notes of things Bethesda had fucked up on, when the new year rolled around, apparently no one could use the in-game newts because the in-game clocks were set to 99999 and it just kept going on.
Oh, they hit the max number, huh?
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't even think to check for that, but that happened.
Oh,
and like the
Y2K.
interface on the Pip-Boy, the interface on the Pip-Boy was just nothing but dashes, hyphens, and all that shit.
Y2K
like it was
just
just
Fallout.
it was just a major clusterfuck. Not to mention the multiple game-breaking glitches and shit like that. Just oh my god.
Which thankfully they've been working on and getting things patched and fixed.
Right.
I mean, there was. If I was to say it, I'm sorry I keep interrupting about this, but they actually,
go ahead.
from what I remember, I think it was like a month ago, they had to do a major rollback on a patch because.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Because when they implemented it, it didn't like the previous coding they put in, and it broke everything.
Was that the reason they did the rollback?
Yep.
Oh my god.
But that's the issue. It's like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, they just undid the patch. They're leaving the game." Da 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 da. But in reality, it was just simple. A didn't want to talk to B, and it just broke everything.
Oh.
That's like I was sitting there, and it was funny because a buddy of mine was going on about it. He's like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Hold up, let me actually read the patch notes and read what was going on." And it just happens that. Like, the coding just, they didn't want to talk to each other, caused the entire game to, like, flip its shit, and then they had to do a rollback. And then slowly re-implement the parts of the patch, so that way they could fix it.
Well, I mean, the thing that I find funny about this is, they have to have their own separate server for testing updates like this. Like, how do you not proof this before sending out?
There's a lot of things that can happen, and the issue is with that, is that when they actually do, like, they can test the code, they can test and see if the patch works, but a lot of things can happen once you put it into that actual environment.
True, like, I guess you got a point there.
Because it's like, what they could be testing is like, it's like, oh hey, this is with the recent patch, da 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 da. But for all we know, it could have been like a line of code they implemented several patches back. It caught it, and it fucked it up.
Right, and I guess I can get that. I mean,
Coding.
all it takes is just 1-1 or 1-0, and the whole code could easily be screwed.
Oh yeah, you take one bug patch at 99 appear, so.
Right.
That's kind of how that works. I mean, the Fallout 76 team has been working and has been getting things fixed. Not fast, should I remind you, but they are doing it just at a slower pace because they have to work around all the coding issues, and after a crash like that, it was going to eventually happen. But yeah, no, Fallout 76, they have come a long way from launch. Don't get me wrong, it's not graceful. But
yeah,
they've definitely been doing the work to try and bring the game back up. It's playable, you can have fun with it, but if you're coming in to expect like a serious game right now, it's just go in and have fun. Play it like you do Rust. Mine is like being able to kill random people on the spot. Just come in, goof around, just bullshit, have fun.
Once the final game actually came out, one thing I was wondering as I saw all this stuff coming out, all the bugs being shown off, all the glitches people were finding, I was just wondering, okay, so I get they wanted to use the Fallout 4 engine, but why did they just use what they used for ESO? That probably would have saved them half the time.
It was completely different development teams.
Oh, seriously?
the ones who worked on Fallout 76 was Bethesda's development studio themselves. This is why they said it's their first multiplayer game. ZeniMax Online, that development studio controls ESO. It's a completely different system and setup.
Okay, that clears things up for me a bit. Because I was thinking, like, ESO works fine on its own. I mean, they could very easily just use the same code, but okay, if it's two different teams, I throw my hands up. I understand. Ugh.
And like when people sit down, they're like, "Oh, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that?" They got to remember, Bethesda development studio is the one which everyone's talking about. Then there's the Bethesda software, whatever. That's the company that owns said companies. And then there's ZeniMax, which is the father company. They're like their producers.
We already covered most of the major points involving Fallout 76.
We can jump development studios, because speaking of properties not going the way they want, Activision lost Bungie.
Oh right, I forgot about that. I was actually wanting to save that for talking about. Sure, let's have it be Fallout 76 and Destiny 2. So yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, no. Apparently, the stab at Bungie celebrated once they split from
I
from
heard about
Division. I'm sitting here, man. How bad could it have been?
I don't know.
Because I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I'm really happy that Bungie's being Bungie again.
Right.
We don't know how much of Bungie's going to be Bungie, but we do know things are going to be very different going forward.
Right, I mean, it's almost half of the original Bungie, and the other half just went off to do other stuff.
Mm-hmm. But no, Crack Division lost Bungie. I mean,
Division.
like, not Crap Division, Crack.
No, that's what I said. Crack Division? Seriously?
Yeah, that's... Okay, I'm gonna educate you really quick about how me and a couple of my friends, we call stuff. We have Crack Division, Goobysoft. Those are like the two big ones.
You gotta have one for EA.
Not really. We just call it EA. Or the murderer of families. We'll see.
But no.
No, Ubisoft and Crack Division are like the best ones we have. The other ones I can't really say on air, so...
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, honestly, Ubisoft, I kind of like their work. I don't like how they're going now, but some of their past work I've enjoyed, like Rainbow Six Siege, the Assassin's Creed series. That's been fun.
Well, keep in mind, like, Siege started off as weak as like Destiny 1 and where Anthem is right now, and they improved upon it. But back to the whole Destiny tirade, but no, it's going to be interesting because a lot of stuff that happened with Destiny 1 and 2 was because of how Activision helped set up their development planning. Like their monetization schemes and a lot of shit like that was done on the publisher side, Activision side. And a lot of the cut content they did to help with Sony was also because of Activision, because Activision is very much tied with Sony. So we're going to see what happens in the future with a lot of things. Hi, sweetie.
I'm just wondering if the next Destiny games are just going to be PlayStation exclusive or something.
They're not going to be, because Bungie got Destiny on the split.
Oh wait, so
Bungie owns the Destiny property.
Right, that I know. But I was going to say, so Activision was actually setting up the deal with Sony.
No, they were not setting up. They were not setting up a deal with Sony because the issue is they had the other two games on both platforms. And it was going to be that way. And as that was going, things just kind of went sideways. Like, we knew things were going sideways at Activision for a while because there's been drops in development teams, and a complete list of other stuffs that we saw happening through the Blizzard side of it. And then I guess it hit a pinnacle because of what happened with Bungie. They completely lost one of their swinging titles. They lost a major development studio.
Right.
And that is like the biggest hit they've had.
I'm just wondering what's going to happen to Activision after this.
Not much, because they'll be still going through with COD and things like that. But there's going to be a big...
They do have their bread and butter.
But this could be a big company change depending on what happens going forward.
True. I mean, there was one major Activision executive that actually stepped down at some point. I think a little after that Diablo phone app debacle.
Oh, the Diablo Immortals thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think someone stepped down after that, but they had already gotten a whole bunch of money as a thing for quitting.
Yeah.
So, like, this will be interesting for gaming in the future. Like, I'm interested, but a little wary as to what's going to happen going on from here.
I don't know. I wish Bungie the best because I grew up with them.
Of course.
It's like I have a tattoo on my arm that is from their Halo trilogy.
Yeah, it's like the legendary
it's the
difficulty marker.
Yep.
Or
it's the legendary difficulty marker, the elite skull on the shield with the swords behind it.
Right.
And I hope they do well, and I hope they actually get better in their development, because the Bungie I know it's not going to be 100%, but I want them to do better because I know they can do better. As a fan of their games, as a person who's enjoyed and followed them for years, I know they can do better. I want to see them do better.
Right, it's just up to them at this point.
Mm-hmm. So I wish them the best of luck.
Right, and here's to a possibly brighter future for Bungie.
Mm-hmm. I really hope they do well. And speaking of doing well, a game that's kind of like flipping people on their heads with reviewers not agreeing with the people. Fucking Anthem.
Yeah. I guess we can just go ahead and get that one out of the way. And I was planning for saving that for another topic, but...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sure, why not? No, we were going to record it after this if you can remember the topic you wanted to bring up, but... Hey. More footage for people to watch. More screen time for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, go for it.
Like, when Anthem was announced, it was meant to be a competitor with Destiny. That was the plan for it. And I sat there, and it was going through some development issues, but knowing BioWare, I sat down, and I was kind of, like, keeping my head low, because what happened with Dragon Age Inquisition, what happened with Mass Effect Andromeda, and then now they were working on this, I'm kind of like, can they actually do it without a problem?
Right, I mean, BioWare had kind of been quiet ever since, before Andromeda came out for quite a while, until that E3 trailer announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And now...
Like, the funny...
If this game doesn't do too well, the thing I'm worried about is if BioWare's going to be eaten up by EA.
I don't think it would be, because BioWare is still a major studio to have under your belt, because it's a staple name.
Right.
It's like Bungie and Halo, and Bungie and Destiny, or Treyarch and COD, World at War, Respawn Entertainment, which was also Sledgehammer. They're the ones who did Modern Warfare 2. They weren't really necessarily like gobbled. They've just been either trimmed down or replaced with people and things like that. But I think the biggest issue I think that BioWare faces when it comes to EA is EA's marketing team and EA's planning for how monetization should work within Anthem. Because that game, it needs to stick to its current monetization plan of the microtransactions being solely customizations.
Right. We don't want another EA's Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm. But that's the big thing, because I know BioWare can do a lot of things, but I also know EA's been notorious for, like, this has been actual stuff that's been put out by the development teams. EA's pushy. And they want a product. They want a product now.
Right, and that's the thing. While, yes, you may want a product, if you just push it out, it's not going to be as good if you had waited for a while.
It's not going to be good. It's sort of like the thing with Andromeda from a lot of the development stories behind that, is that EA wanted it out here, and apparently the team wanted another year to work on. I think we could have gotten a completely different game if they'd gotten that extra year, and I think it still would have been a title people would have been enjoying today, instead of the buggy, glitchy mess we had now.
But unfortunately, because they rushed it out so fast, they
had to outsource.
It was just a mess.
They had to outsource the animations. It feels like
that didn't help.
Yeah, no, my face hurts. They had to. It feels like they skipped a lot of the gameplay testing for it, and it was just kind of out there. But that's how EA is. EA wants a product. EA wants it done. Like, as we can look at EA's meddling, look at what happened with what was that marketing scheme they had for it? Just don't buy it if you don't like it. And what did people do?
Right.
Buy it?
They didn't buy it.
Like, Battlefield 5 is a fantastic game, but you guys fucked it. The marketing
not to mention the
sideways.
Not to mention the staggered release of game modes. Like, seriously, what the heck is going on here? Why is there so much content shown but not available?
Like, here's the thing. The Battle Royale thing, I understand. Work on the Battle Royale thing. Make sure it's good before you put it out. You need it to be good before you put it out. But
and we know EA's development teams can actually put out a good battle royale. Case in point, fuck, I can't think of the game's name.
Actually, Apex.
Yes,
EA didn't even know about Apex.
Oh shit! Was that actually just like dropped on them?
It
Holy
was.
Shit.
The teams.
I thought they told the team to actually.
The team stopped working on Titanfall 3. They started working on Apex. They didn't let EA know until I think maybe a week or so before. And then they just dropped it. And then they said, here it is, people. And here it is right now, Apex. It's fucking done by Respawn Entertainment. Fucking good on them. And, like, EA had nothing to do with it. It's one of the biggest titles in EA's history at the moment.
Oh my God.
EA's marketing team didn't get to touch it at all. They literally, here's the game, it's doing fantastic, over 25 million concurrent players. He's doing so good.
It passed freaking Fortnite already.
Beat the shit out of Fortnite. What are you on about? And EA's marketing team didn't even get a chance to touch it. So far, every game I've seen that EA's had like their hands in has like fucking gotten hurt so bad. But look at Apex. EA had like barely any input in it, and here it is. It's doing so goddamn well.
Oh my God.
Like, straight up, I'm fucking... Like, I'm sad I don't get a Titanfall 3, but at the same time, it's like...
You get a pretty damn good Battle Royale.
It's like, good, I don't even really like Battle Royales, but I'll sit down and play Apex.
Only thing that I feel the game is missing is able to lean around corners, but the game is fine without it. I don't need that to
Dude,
make the game
I'm gonna
fun.
say this. It's got the Titanfall movement almost to a key. The only thing they had to skip out on was the fucking wall running.
Yeah, I completely forgot that was a thing Titanfall kind of...
Titanfall's movement
unleashed on everyone.
No, Titanfall's movement is fast. Like, it is a good fast.
Yeah, and because of that, it translates well into the combat, and then you just feel really, I guess, hyped when you're playing the game.
Oh yeah, no, it's...
I don't know what words to use for it.
You feel exhilarated, or whatever.
Right, and I mean, it just helps with the momentum of the game, like, move, 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 gunfight, move, gunfight, like, just
And the thing
all
is,
at once.
is that Apex, like, it's obviously a nerfed down version of the Titanfall movement, but it doesn't hinder it at all. It feels smooth, it feels good. The abilities don't seem to get in the way whatsoever, which I really like about it. They're not a key focus on the game. Except for maybe the guy with the fucking chemical warfare weapons. That gets a little weird.
Yeah, I've been hearing he's actually supposed to be broken, but I don't really ever see him used in the game all that much.
Okay, on PC, I've seen him every few matches. And, like, the people who know how to play him, they turtle in a room and just put down a literal valley of death.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah. But no, outside of that, it's like, EA should look and see what happened with Apex. They should let BioWare work on the game and do their thing, and I think it'll turn out to be a fantastic game.
Right.
But EA has to realize that them sticking their finger in it doesn't make it good.
Honestly, they should just take publishment tips from Nintendo. And seriously, that one quote Shigeru Miyamoto came up with, a game is... fuck, I can't remember the exact quote, but a game is bad if it's just rushed, but a delayed game will always be good, or something along
It's
those
something
lines.
about taking your time.
Right. I don't know, maybe you could just, like, throw up his quote somewhere on the screen.
Maybe I can. Or maybe it'll be a pyramid. You never know.
Yeah,
You
I
want
never
a
know.
pyramid, 5 squares, smiley face. A meme. A random generated meme. I'll go back onto the old 4chan board. I'll find rage comments.
Hey guys, Eisenlands here. If you liked the video, drop a like, subscribe. There's more videos down in the description. Just go ahead and watch those. They're fun, I swear. I'm not selling you a car here. Just trust me. Take my word for it. Anyways, yeah, have a good day. This has been Eisenlands.